troops home. But some staunch anti-war Democrats are concerned that their congressional leaders aren't moving fast enough.
We're not simply saying to our leadership, we want to get out, we want to withdraw now, tomorrow, in the next week or so. We are reasonable, intelligent legislators elected by the people to make good decisions, and those people who try to paint us as folks who simply want to get out and leave our troops exposed is incorrect.
Democratic Representative Maxine Waters of California is a member of the Out of Iraq caucus. She joins me now here in the Situation Room. Thank you so much for joining us. Who were you talking about earlier this morning, those who are trying to paint you in a way that makes you seem unreasonable or not intelligent?
Well, a number of people. Sometimes we get it from the more conservative press. Sometimes there are staffers that are trying to whip us in line, who will give those kind of stories to the press. Sometimes members of the Blue Dogs will paint us. Yeah, Democrats will paint us that way. Sometimes Republicans. So we wanted to set the record straight to say that we want to end the war, certainly. We want our troops home. We know that it cannot happen overnight, and so we think it should be done within a reasonable time period, and we want a straightforward bill that will do that.
Why do you suppose it's members of your own party that seem to be portraying you in this rather negative light? Is this coming from Speaker Pelosi in your private conversations? I mean, why do you suppose there's this kind of vehement split?
No, this is certainly not coming from the Speaker. This kind of thing happens all the time. As you know, we have various constituencies, and we have people who are here who represent very conservative constituencies in the Democratic Party, some of us who represent more progressive constituencies, and so we differ philosophically, and we try to have our way, and so we're strong advocates for our position, and oftentimes you will hear that advocacy take all kinds of ways of doing that.
The president has the megaphone, and I want you to take a listen to something that he said today, because this is the case that he is making against you.
Okay.
Hear the words of bin Laden in a message to the American people just last year. He says of Iraq, the war is for you or for us to win. If we win it, it means your defeat and disgrace forever. In the face of such a determined enemy, the idea of pulling back from the fight and hoping for the best is not a reasonable position.
Now, this is the president. He mentioned this earlier this week, but essentially he is calling your position, saying that this means a success, a win here for Osama bin Laden.
Well, you know, the president uses all kind of language to try and intimidate and have people believe that we're just cutting and run, that somehow we don't know how to win, that we are not willing to fight terrorism. So we're accustomed to all of those kind of sound bites that don't really mean anything. The fact of the matter is, the president misled us. We thought we were going because this country was at risk, that somehow we were fighting terrorism, only to find out there were no weapons of mass destruction, and that Saddam Hussein was a bluffer, and that he did not have us at risk at all. And the fact of the matter is, we've been there long enough to find out that now we're in the middle of a civil war. Our soldiers are now at risk. We're not accomplishing anything.
Let's talk about the plan here, obviously presented by the Democrats here, House and Senate. I mean, clearly the president today issued this veto threat, and you don't have the votes to override the veto. Is this just spinning your wheels? What makes this anything more than an academic exercise?
The people elect us to come here and fight for what we believe in. And we are trying to put legislation on the president's desk that will wind us out of Iraq and do it in a way that he's going to have to be accountable for. And so even if he threatens to veto, it is our responsibility as elected representatives to move forward. And the people have spoken, and the polls are showing us that the people know that this war has been mismanaged. They want us out of there, and we have to lead them out. And that means putting together the legislation, putting it on the president's desk. He can veto it if he wants to. The people will take care of him.
When you say that people will take care of him, obviously he's still got some time in office here. What are you talking about? What is your recourse here if he vetoes this legislation? What more can you do?
If he vetoes the legislation, as you know, we have the option to try and override the veto. It may be a steep hill to climb, but that's our responsibility to try and meet those challenges. When I say the people will take care of him, they will speak up, they will speak out, they will rally, they will protest, they will challenge this administration, and perhaps they will be the ones that will help us to override the veto, because they will convince their legislators that the right thing to do is to get out of Iraq, bring our soldiers home, and stop spending all of the taxpayers' money on a war that has proven to be a war that has caused our soldiers to be in the middle of sectarian violence.
I'm going to have
every
to
day.
ask, I'm sorry, we've run out of time. I'm going to have to cut you off right there. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Maxine Waters
Thank
joining
you
us.
very, very much.